It's been hours since I found this door. He sniffed the air. Nothing. Not a clue. Wait a minute. Gingerly, he probed his nose, then the rest of his face. No throbbing pain, no bruises, no blood-crusted toilet paper jammed up his nose. How long have I been out? In a blink, he spied a pair of booted feet beside him. He looked up and stared into the hollow eye sockets of a skull. Adorned in a black robe with a large hood, the skeleton beckoned him with a single bony finger. Though breathless at the apparition's appearance, it hardly seemed menacing, more like bored. Are you Death? Richard asked in a whisper. Hardly. Though the skeleton spoke not a word, Richard heard his flat, monotone reply all the same. He sounded thirsty, parched. The creature shook its head and pointed to a tarnished, shield-shaped badge of bronze upon its robe. Bailiff. Okay. What do you want? The skeletal official took a few steps to the door Richard had found. It grasped the doorknob, its bones clicking and gritting against the brass as it turned. You shouldn't keep the judge waiting. Judge? The bailiff swung the door open and ushered Richard in. A warped, checkered tile floor greeted him. 2 podiums stood in the middle of the room facing the opposite wall. Across the room, the monolithic judge's bench faced him and dwarfed everything else. Behind the little podium on the left stood a tall and slender man whose eyes boiled with rage. A black cloud of unkempt hair billowed down from his pointed head onto his shoulders. As their gazes met, the man raised a hand and shook a finger. Squattering, trespassy brat, he said, seething. Like opening an overstuffed closet, memories tumbled and crashed into place. This unkempt, ill-spoken malcontent had picked a fight with Richard shortly after he'd slipped out of the tub. The only intelligible portion of his rant had been his moniker, Captain Rodney Fuller. Aside from that, the man possessed the eloquence and vocabulary of a rabid parrot. Look, it was my house, Richard countered. I don't see why I can't stay in my own freaking house. Besides, I'm no brat. I'm nearly 17. Another revelation dropped onto his head with a crash. I didn't step out of the tub. An image crystallized within his mind's eye. He'd floated out from the water, not wet, not naked. Standing over his own body, he'd remarked at how fragile he seemed in that moment before Captain Fuller tried to chase him off. All rise, the bailiff ordered. Phantom Court will come to order. The Honourable Judge Samuel Clemens presiding. Mark Twain, Richard exclaimed. Hush now, or I'll find you in contempt, the judge demanded. From over the edge of a towering bench, the old wordsmith peered. White, wispy brows furrowed over glaring eyes. A thick broom of a moustache obscured his mouth, yet betrayed the scowl beneath. There's no call for reminding me of what's passed under the bridge. I'm Judge Clemens, and I'm to see justice done. Richard Snell, you stand accused of trespassing on Mr. Fuller's haunting. How do you plea? The judge asked, pointing his gavel at Richard. What?